What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Daniel Cormier lost over Jon Jones' angry reaction to UFC White House exclusion. Jon Jones wants out of the UFC following CEO Dana White's recent remarks at the UFC 326 post-fight press conference. This prompted a fiery reaction from Jones on social media, including a lengthy statement that included the former two-division champion calling for his release from the promotion. Jones is regarded by many as one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, albeit with a checkered past outside of the octagon. Jones could become an unrestricted free agent for one of the few times in his legendary career later this year, but Jones' two-time rival UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier was befuddled by Jones's reaction to White's comments. Here's where I'm lost. Jon Jones has had a lot of interactions with the UFC, positive and negative, right? So why would he be so hurt by it if there's something he knows isn't being given to the public? There have been many occasions when Jon and Dana have talked negative about each other and haven't been able to come to terms. Sometimes on Jon's doing, sometimes on the UFC's doing. So why would he be so hurt now? It's hard to get that upset when someone's actually shown you that behavior before, but right now, it just seems like it really bothered him, and I've called him everything. I think it was honestly because the White House thing meant something to him. He's not getting released. I think 0% he gets released. There's no way you can release Jones because then, if Jones versus Ngannou can be made outside of the UFC, that's giving someone power. So there's no way that he can fight anywhere else. Francis Ngannou gets brutally honest on his fighting career. Francis Ngannou faced Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua in his two boxing fights, earning millions. However, he didn't fight as much as he could have in the PFL, with just one outing for the promotion. Also, he didn't face Jon Jones for various reasons, some out of his control. The reporter claimed that some fans suggested that Ngannou had ruined his legacy by boxing, but the former UFC star had another take. My legacy right now is my kids back home, is my family back home getting healthcare, getting security, being able to put food on the table, being able to put roof on their head. That has a better legacy. Muhammad Ali's name was brought up by the reporter about a fighter with a legacy, but Francis maintained his stance that money is also important. You can have the Muhammad Ali legacy or whatever you want. If your kid cannot attend the school, he has no place in society. If your kid doesn't have food in the stomach, legacy doesn't help you for anything. You cannot go to the store or in a gas station at school and pay a scholarship fee with a legacy. Daniel Cormier praises Max Holloway despite his defeat at UFC 326. UFC commentator Daniel Cormier has given his thoughts on Max Holloway's performance in the main event of UFC 326. As we know, Max Holloway came up short last weekend when he lost the BMF title to Charles Oliveira in the main event of UFC 326. He didn't make any excuses about his performance, and instead, he made it clear that he will work harder than ever to bounce back and make a statement in his next fight. Holloway is an exceptional fighter, and in a strange way, he was still able to prove that at UFC 326. Blessed had to endure a brutal ground game from Charles Oliveira, and despite being on his back for over 20 minutes of the fight, he didn't submit to one of the best jiu-jitsu players in the game. For Max Holloway, there wasn't much good in this fight because he never got to fight. But what was very impressive was his submission defense. I don't know that we've ever seen a guy on the bottom versus Oliveira for as long as he spent on the bottom and not get submitted. If there is something that the Holloway team should look at as a positive, it's that he fought off his back for 23 minutes, and Oliveira never got that close to submitting him. That was super impressive, but Holloway will be back. The guy is a champion, he's an amazing fighter, and he will build himself back into contention. Paddy Pimblett has sneaky suspicion Justin Gaethje might upset Ilia Topuria. UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria will unify the title with interim champ Justin Gaethje on June 14th at the White House. Gaethje claimed the interim belt by handing Pimblett his first octagon loss at UFC 324, and Pimblett is not counting out the highlight. My two mates in the main event. Ilia did say he was going to come back around this time, so June is perfect for him. And obviously Justin Gaethje said when he was fighting me, he wants to beat me, and then go on to fight on the White House, and he's done it. So hats off to him, he's done it. Everyone's already counting Gaethje out, and we've already learned that you can't do that. I've got a sneaky suspicion that Gaethje might pull off an upset here and surprise everyone. But as you know, it's a fist fight. It could go either way. Anyone could beat anyone. In the White House, he's probably going to have a little bit more motivation to go out there and win, because it's in front of his president and his home country. We'll have to see how that one plays out, because obviously it's big implications for the rest of the division. I'm obviously going to be watching that. I'll have my eye on that, but I'm going to be focused on whoever I get to fight next. Hopefully I'm going to find out the next few weeks when my next fight will be, and hopefully it's around that time, around June or July.